Okay, good day everyone. We are back in Lamplight City. There's a knock at the door, but before we do that, let's read this paper because I have a feeling when we answer the door we're not going to be able to read the paper. We might be able to, I don't know. Anyway, so let's read the titles. Heart the Roy continues election. Celebration. The Justice Killer strikes again. Class action suit filed against the Royal Maverick, and Grand Dame's bizarre death ruled a murder. Okay, let's start with this one and work left. Yeah? Sure. Okay, so get the cursor out of the way. There we go. Grand Dame's bizarre death ruled a murder. After full investigation by the New Britannia police, the death of Gascoigne Grand Dame Desiree Latham has been ruled a murder. Chief of Police Reginald Snelling issued the following statement. Foul play was initially suspected, and our detective determined that it was indeed the case. A suspect has been arrested and is awaiting trial. The suspect in question is Roger DeVay, an art professor at the University of New Britannia. DeVay was recently named as Miss Latham's beneficiary, a fact which concerned detectives on the case. DeVay allegedly left rags soaked in linseed oil underneath Latham's bed. After several days, the oil caught fire, burning Miss Latham alive as she slept. According to Snelling, the scene was intended to appear accidental, but thanks to the work of The scene was intended to appear accidental, but thanks to the brilliant work of our finest detectives, the sordid truth was revealed. The sordid truth. Well, how does the paper know how she was killed? Like, how do they know it was linseed oil? Surely that case should have been left at the script. Whatever. Class action lawsuit filed against Royal Maverick. The law firm of Usher and Price announces that a class action lawsuit has been filed against Royal Maverick on behalf of those killed in Foster Park during the Ligier disaster in June of this year. Those who lost family members on June 24, 1844 as a direct result of the airship Ligier crashing into Foster Park are encouraged to contact the law firm at 72 Blillett. Maverick operates at several transportation services, most notably transatlantic airship services, starting with the HMS Ligier. The HMS Lenore, the Ligier's sister ship, is nearing completion. Usher and Price are alleging gross negligence on Royal Maverick's part due to the lack of proper maintenance, which resulted in a disaster causing 54 deaths on the ground in addition to the 300 passengers on board. During the Usher claims continued on page 13. I want to leave the Justice Killer one till last because I think that's the one that I'm most interested in. Hart Leroy continues election celebration. After beating Herbert Atwood in a stunning upset, Hart Leroy has continued his victory tour yesterday, visiting the Thornburn Ironworks in Columbine. Workers cheered as the Prime Minister-elect gave a rousing speech in which he outlined his plans upon taking office next month. Your jobs are safe, your livelihoods are safe. Steam Tech will not replace you, Leroy repeated several times throughout the address to thunderous applause. Leroy defeated Atwood in a stunning landslide with over 73% of the vote. Most voters cited his stance on preserving jobs and shunning steam technology as a deciding factor. Leroy's order of business will be resuming construction of the Gascoigne Columbine Bridge, creating several jobs. Continuing with page 8. Okay, the one that I'm mostly interested in. The Justice Killer strikes again. The last victim of the serial murderer in Burley Cause of Colobandelli. Cause was discovered in his apartment, killed by a single gunshot wound to the head. His neighbour, Ethel Williamson, reported a domestic dispute in which she heard the gunshot. Police arrived at the scene and found Cause along with the word justice written in blood on the wall of his parlour. The Gazette has learned that each of the men have found murdered previously in Colomandelli were found in the exact same situation, contradicting the police department's previous statements that the murders were unrelated. Due to the murderer's unusual display at each crime scene, he has earned the name Justice Killer. As of this writing, there has been no established link between the victims. More on this story as it develops. Okay. Interesting. Let's answer the door.
Good afternoon, miss. If you're looking for Miss Upton, I'm afraid she's not in right now.
No, I've already spoken with Miss Upton. I'm looking for Mr. Miles Fordham.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm Miles Fordham. What can I do for you, Miss...
Mrs. Emily Morgan. I have a problem, you see. Miss Upton said you'd be able to help.
I suppose you'd better come in.
That's interesting clues.
So, what seems to be the trouble?
It's my brother, Ronan Lespay. He was murdered 4 nights ago outside a tavern in the Chum.
How unfortunate he's gone 4 nights ago on election night. Too bad he didn't get to see it. Why would you say that? I mean, that one seems like the best, but I want to be...
On election night?
Yes, I suppose it was.
Could you please tell me what happened?
Okay.
The police took his body to the mortuary and investigated the crime scene, but they're out of ideas. I've been down there at the station every day, but they don't seem to care enough to look into it any further. All they've been able to determine was that it wasn't a robbery, and that the clothes he was wearing weren't his. My brother was a good man, Mr. Fordham. He would never have willingly gone to that part of town. I need to know why he was murdered, and I want whoever did it to pay for it.
Very well, Mrs. Morgan. I'll take your case.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fordham.
I just need to know where your brother was killed, and where I might be able to contact you.
He was found outside the Silent Raven. It's on Alewife Avenue, on the west side of the Chum. Here, take this. It's a photo of Ronan. It might help your investigation.
Okay. Thank you.
And if you need to speak with me, you can come to my husband's bakery. It's here in Worcester, at 15 Drummond Street.
Very good. I'll begin my investigation right away.
Thank you again, Mr. Fordham. You have no idea how much this means to me.
Well, this case has our names written all over it. Maybe it'll be good practice for finding the man who caused my death, eh?
Okay, let's have a look. The current case, the good man. The Silent Raven. Ronan Lespay was found murdered in a part of town that he never went to in clothes that weren't his. Was he leading a double life? Investigate Ronan Lespay's murder site. Photo. A photograph of a young, unremarkable looking man. It's a bit harsh, but alright. Right, okay.
Therein lies Upton.
Okay. I just wondered if we could say anything to her before we left, but I guess not. She might not be in, to be fair. Silent Raven. Morgan Bakery. Upton's apartment. Oh! Didn't mean to click on that, sorry about that. Back out we go. Okay, all saved up. Let's start by going to the Silent Raven. Oh.
To think, in an instant, a man's life can be reduced to some scribbles on the filthy pavement.
Huh? Okay.
Now's not the time to get poetic, Bill.
Broken balls.
A mess.
Okay.
These advertisements are all at least 10 years out of date.
Right.
It's an ad for whiskey. Or perhaps paint thinner. Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference. Their mascot seems to be a raven with a glowing red eye. Is that meant to attract customers or to scare them off?
Yeah, exactly.
I suppose you could do worse, as far as bar names go.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good for a bar. Silent Raven. Right, let's go in. See if we can find out anybody who might have been here on the night.
My, this grog shop looks pretty
cool.
rough, even by chum standards. Let's keep a low profile while you're in here, Miles.
Yeah, I mean, look at this broken glass and the fucking knife in the chessboard. I really was losing, clearly.
Doesn't look like cleaning up is high on the list of priorities around here.
Can we not talk to him? I guess not.
They don't seem to have much variety in their beer selection.
Nope, just beer.
Looks like that's where they keep the good stuff. Of course, around here, good is an extremely relative term.
Oh, okay. That appears to be everything I can interact with. Yeah, okay, right, well, let's talk to agency.
Me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Your name first, please. That would be nice. Tell me your name.
Here long.
13 years.
I see. Anything else you can tell me about yourself?
I ain't the friendly type.
Whoa, okay.
Right. Understood.
I just wanted your name.
A
Alright.
man named Ronan Lespay?
Nah, never heard of him.
He was killed here 4 nights ago. The man in this ferrotype.
Oh, that one. Well, I never saw him before that night, and I didn't talk to him. You with the police or something?
No, not at all. I'm just trying to help his sister find out what happened.
So are you done with the questions? Can I get you a drink or what?
Yeah, she's a shrewd businesswoman. You at least have to give her that.
Yeah, okay.
Were you working on election night?
Pal, I'm here most every night.
So that's a yes, then?
Christ on a cracker, you ain't too bright, are ya? Yes, I was here on election night.
There's no need to be rude about it, madam. Tell me what you know about the murder that took place outside on election night.
Listen, chum, do you know how busy we were that night? This was a polling place. We had gents coming in and out for hours, not to mention the regular clientele. I was up to my ass in drink orders and was running the shift all by myself. Had to break up God knows how many fights, too. So you'll excuse me if I didn't exactly notice something that happened out on the street.
Did you at least hear the gunshot?
No, I didn't. You try distinguishing a gunshot over a room full of rowdy voters. It ain't gonna happen.
Okay, I disagree with that, but the thing is, it was busy then. If there was that many people around, how would you get away with just shooting someone? Well, anyway.
What can you tell me about this place?
It's a bar. People come here to drink. Sometimes people drink too much, and then they're sick all over. I get the honor of cleaning up the mess.
Oh, lucky you.
Sounds like you're not too pleased with your job.
I never said that. There may be rough days, but there's a lot worse I could be doing. Here, I get a place to sleep and a bit to eat and a few coins in my pocket if the customers are pleased. And you are pleased, ain't you, sir?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course I am.
Good.
Alright, okay.
Where might I find the landlord?
Wrong
You
one.
won't find him anywhere. He doesn't come around here more than once a month.
Okay, that's the one I wanted.
Regular clientele. Who are they?
Oh, we get plenty of regulars in here. Too many to name.
Which of them were here on election night?
Let me think. I remember seeing 3 of the usual crowd. There was Darius, up to no good as always. Then there was Singin' Tom, but he wasn't around for too long. And how could I forget old Cormac? He'd have talked my ear off if I'd let him.
Sound like an interesting bunch of folks.
Okay, Singing Tom seems to be of interest at the moment.
What can you tell me about Darius?
Hey now, bucko. You've come in here asking me all these questions, but I ain't seen nothing from you. You want more information? You're gonna have to earn it.
Right. Give me a gin, then.
Coming right up.
Don't get carried away now, Miles.
There you are. 1 gin. That'll be 2 shillings.
There's 3. Now then, about Darius.
Now that man is trouble. I've had to throw him out a few times.
Why do you say he's trouble?
His mind's affected by the poppy seed. He can be gentle as a kitten or fly into a rage at a moment's notice. When he gets rowdy, he gets chucked.
I see. Any idea where I might be able to find him?
Don't know why you'd want to find him, but I hear he spends his day at a smokehouse nearby. I believe it's on Crisparkle Lane. Just look for the door with the oriental symbols above it.
And could you describe him to me?
He's a rough-looking sort, about 55 years old, has a scar on his left cheek, grayish hair, medium build.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. Singing Tom.
Who's Singing Tom?
Ah, Tom. Not sure what his surname is, but he's in here about twice a week. We call him Singing Tom because he leads a church choir.
Is that right? Which church?
Oh, I haven't a clue. Never really cared to ask.
Does he associate with any of the other regulars?
I've seen him talking with Darius a few times. They seem to be on friendly terms.
Okay.
Tell me about Cormac.
He's in here most every night. Doesn't speak to many people, just me. And a right chatterbox he is, too. Between you and me, Cormac stinks. I can understand why he doesn't keep much company.
He stinks?
Aye, he's a sewer worker. Spends all his day underground in the muck, so he always reeks of shit.
I see. Any idea where specifically he works?
I believe he's at the treatment station, over near the ferry terminal.
If this is going where I think it is, then I'm especially glad I can't smell anything anymore.
Any thoughts on the election?
Nah, couldn't care less, really. Doesn't matter who's in charge. My life ain't getting any better.
Surely it'll get better with Leroy in office.
We'll see.
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll save that. Let's have a look at what we've found out. Yeah, okay. Find Darius at the opium den in Colomandelli. Find Cormac at the Colomandelli Water Treatment Centre. So we don't know where Singing Tom is. The reason he seems suspicious is simply because he left early. I don't think he actually has anything to do with it, but who knows? Maybe he saw something and ran away. Either way, we've got two places we can go, so let's start with one of those. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, it's like a dragon, I think. And then the water treatment. Go to the opium den.
Crisparkle Lane. Nothing crisp or sparkly about it.
Okay.
I wonder how many layers of advertisements you'd have to cut through before getting to the wall. Okay, that appears to be it out here. Yeah. I can't make heads or tails of it, but I'll bet you 10 crowns it doesn't say welcome.
Oh, okay.
Yes? What do you want?
I'm looking for a man named Darius. May I come in, please?
I'm looking for a man named Darius. I believe he may be inside.
Yeah, I don't know anybody with that name. So if that's all you wanted, get lost.
Oh, let's go open up in the name of the law.
Might I come in, please?
This is private property, and I don't know you, so no.
My name is Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator. I demand you let me in the name of the law.
The law? Is this your idea of a joke?
I assure you, I'm quite serious.
No, as I said, I'm a private investigator.
Then I really don't have to let you in. You bothered me enough. Get out of here!
Something tells me we won't be getting in there anytime soon.
Who? Okay. I wonder if there was a way of getting in there.
No answer. Looks like you blew your chances with this place.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Water treatment. Oh, is this him right here?
This is what it's come to, eh? Braving the stench of human waste in hopes of finding a lead. Just make sure you stay away from the edge. Handy to know where you are. But why would anyone actually travel around the city this way?
Because it's less suspicious. Well, I mean, it's not less suspicious, but less likely to be seen.
Some sort of water treatment device would be my guess. For all I know, it could just be a fancy boiler for tea.
Begging your pardon, sir.
Whoa.
Who are you? What are you doing down here?
My name's Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator. I'm looking for a sewer worker by the name of Cormac.
We needn't look no further. But what is this about?
I just have a few questions for you.
All right. Cormac will answer them, but don't dally for too long. It can be dangerous down here for anyone who's not trained as Cormac is.
Okay.
You know a man named Ronan Lespay?
Cormac knows few men. People don't much like talking to a man who spends his days in the sewers. Can't really blame him for it. It's hard to get a stink off, so why bother even trying?
You didn't answer my question, though. Do you know Ronan Lespay or not?
Could you describe him? Cormac's got a better memory for faces than for names.
I have his portrait. Here, have a look.
Ah, yes. Cormac saw this fellow recently.
On election night?
That's right. He come into the bar, voted, went out. Looked drunk to Cormac, but then everyone at that place usually is.
Do you frequent a pub called the Silent Raven?
Yes. The Raven is where Cormac goes to forget about the day's work. The barmaid, Nicole, she's a good sort. We likes talking about the ponies down at the track. Nikki loves her some racing.
Nikki, okay.
Cormac drinks for cheap in exchange for odd jobs. Nice to have your own personal sewer man, I suppose. She's really the only one Cormac talks to. There's a few others Cormac sees often, but Cormac hasn't spoken with them.
Cripes. This guy goes on and on, doesn't he? To be fair, you were warned.
Okay. I'm not sure he went on and on, but whatever.
Do you know anything about the murder that took place outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Ah, yes. The commotion out in the alleyway.
That's right. Did you see or hear anything?
It was a touch noisy that night, what with all the election stuff happening, but Cormac remembers the sound of the gun. One shot, and then shouting and hollering from the bar. A few people run outside to look at what happened, but Cormac just stayed in his seat and finished his whiskey.
So you didn't see the man who was shot, or who shot him?
No, keeps to himself, Cormac does. Makes life easier that way.
Could he be any more unhelpful? Actually, it's probably best not to find out.
Is it difficult being a sewer worker?
Difficult? Nah, it's a dream. Especially since they introduced all these steam tech treatments and purification whatsits. The only thing Cormac's got to do is check the little dial never goes into the red on old Belinda.
Belinda?
Aye, the purifier. She's a real special lady who's made Cormac's life so much brighter. Cormac makes sure to thank her each and every day.
Wonderful. We're talking to a lunatic.
Wasn't so easy a few years ago. Back then it was tapping on pipes all day.
Tapping on pipes?
To make sure they was flowing fine and not blocked. Cormac would take his little hammer and tap, tap, tap on the pipes to make sure they was ringing fine. You can imagine what that was like. Tap, tap, tap. Ring, ring, ring. All day, up and down, over and over. The tapping stopped, but the ringing never left. Still hears it to this day, Cormac does.
Oh.
Do you have any opinions regarding the election?
Cormac hears lots of things about Atwood, but he's the one what's got this new machinery put into the sewer system. There's still a job for Cormac, so all that talk about being replaced by machines is just talk, for now. But Leroy says he wants to give the workers their fair chance, so Cormac can't argue with that. What about you?
I think Leroy will be a good prime minister.
Bah, they's all the same in the end. One way or another. No point worrying, says old Cormac.
I'll let you return to your work.
Be mindful on your way out.
Rightio. Oh, he seems like a...
Another mysterious device. I was happier not knowing all this went on after I used the commode.
good fella, doesn't he? Seems like he's a bit weird, but nothing wrong with that.
Another mysterious machine. Who knew dealing with human waste involved so much technology? I hope those aren't full of what I think.
Can I go any further up? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, okay, well let's leave, I guess then. I don't know what we got to do now then. Find Darius at the opium den. I mean, there's obviously got to be a way in there. Alright, we could go to the bakery and speak to the sister.
Mr. Chavez. The cake and muffins come to a total of 3 shillings 10 coppers.
There you are, Mrs. Morgan. And thank you again. Barbara is going to love this.
My pleasure. Enjoy.
Pardon me, sir.
Oh, he seems like a nice fella.
Barbara will enjoy them. The cow.
Oh,
Mr. Fordham. Welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Morgan.
that was unexpected. What we got here?
Look nice, but given the choice, I'll always side with pie over cake.
Okay.
A bunch of assorted baking products. Don't waste your time with those, Miles. We've got a murder to solve.
It's the whole shelf.
Well, I never had much of a sweet tooth, but even I'd consider buying some of this stuff. You know, if I were still alive. Minor detail, I know. A very wise man once told me, never go poking around the back rooms of bakeries. I think you'd do well to heed that advice.
Harvey Smith's confectionery? Sure. Confectioner.
For a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan.
Yes, of course.
Right.
Can you tell me about your brother?
Ronan was the best brother anyone could have asked for. He took care of me after our parents died. Carriage accident. I was only 9 and he was 13. Ronan went out and found work and managed to support the both of us. He was just a child himself, but he kept us out of the gutter. Or worse, the workhouse.
How did you hear of his death?
Ronan comes by to visit me every day after he finishes work. When he didn't come for 2 days in a row, I got worried. I went to his apartment, but he wasn't there. So I made a report to the police. Yesterday, they contacted me and asked me to come to the mortuary.
I'm terribly sorry for your loss, Mrs. Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham. Please, find whoever did this to him. Ronan deserved so much better.
What do you know about your brother's murder?
Only what the police told me. He was shot at close range outside that pub in the Chum. Nothing was missing, and his wallet had money in it, so they said it wasn't a robbery. I didn't recognize the clothes he was wearing. I had never seen them before, and they were far too big for him. I still can't believe he's gone. He was the only family I had left.
Dr. Edwards at the mortuary might be able to give us some more detailed information. The only thing we'll get out of this one is more tears.
What sort of life did Ronan lead?
You know, just normal. He'd go to work, come visit me afterwards, and go home. He didn't have much of a social life. At least he never mentioned any friends to me. I always hoped Ronan would meet a nice girl to settle down with, but he was so shy, you know.
Where did Ronan work?
At the Grips Home Taxidermy Shop in Gascon. I always thought it was rather macabre work, but he enjoyed it. Bit lonely, though.
Fair enough. Okay.
Can you give me the address of Ronan's apartment?
It's at 1172 Bushmill Street. I have a spare key.
That would be most helpful. Thank you.
Wow, we're just getting loads of shit now. Cool.
So, this is your bakery.
My husband Gerald and I have had it for almost 10 years.
Is it just the two of you? Do you have any children?
Alas, no. Some extra hands would be most welcome in the kitchen, but we haven't yet been blessed. It's such a shame that Ronan never got to be an uncle.
Oh.
What are your thoughts on the outcome of the election?
Oh, I haven't given it much thought, to be honest. It hardly seems to matter now.
Yes, of course. My apologies for bringing it up. Those are all the questions I have for now.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
Okay. Last bit of that conversation actually went pretty well. We got loads of stuff. Speak to Dr. Edwards about the murder. Investigate the Gripsum taxidermy shop and search Ronan's apartment for clues. For clues. Okay. Right, let's start with Ronan's apartment. There we go. Oh.
Quite the collection of exotic items in here. Ronan appears to be a seasoned world traveler.
Okay.
Or at least knows someone who is.
Oh, I saw something glint then.
This one is scarier than the other masks. Wait a moment. I think I saw something shiny in the back of the mouth.
Exactly.
How about that? A perfect hiding place for a key.
Nice. What do we get? Small gold key hidden in a mask inside Ronan a letter spared apartment.
This mask looks African. You should try it on. It'd be an improvement. Some kind of owl mask. The hair looks incredibly familiar. Now to find out what Mr. Lespay finds so precious. Ooh, this teacup could use a washing. I'd be surprised if it isn't permanently stuck to the desk. Ooh.
Oh, oops.
This one appears to be from Emily.
Okay, can I read it? Okay, Ronan. Gerald and I will be celebrating the new year and would like to invite you to spend it with us. Please feel free to bring along any guests you'd like, especially any lady friends you might have. Oh, my love, Emily. Oh, look, there actually is a stain there. Okay.
They appear to be a pair of letters from Ronan's landlord.
Radio. Ronan, with regards to your request for an extension to pay this month's rent, I'll gladly give you until the next month. You've always been a reliable tenant who has paid on time, so don't be concerned. I hope you resolve your issues down forth. Ronan, I understand we all go through financial difficulties, but I'm afraid I can't extend my generosity beyond the end of 2 months. Please have the rent ready by then, or I will have no choice but to seek legal action against you. Okay, that's fair enough. That's
too bad.
In this day and age, I don't think you get any.
A letter from someone called Jimbo.
You don't get anything like that these days. Next week will be a year since we met. I can honestly say my life has changed for the better in every possible way, and I will always hold July 8th as a special day in my heart. I can't wait to see you again, Jimbo. Okay, so is that a man's name? So are they gay, or is it a female with just the name Jimbo? Interesting.
Model of the SS Joondalup. Looks like a merchant vessel to me.
I mean, it could just be friends, I guess, but
Looks
unlikely,
like
isn't it?
Ronan's journal. Perhaps this will be able to give us some more insight into what he was up to before he died.
Read entry. Oh yeah, we want to know this one.
There are 2 entries, one from this year and one from last.
So, start with last year's.
July 8th, 1843. I've decided I need to get out more, so I'm going to a club in Gascon tonight. Stuffing animals has taken its toll, and I need to talk to someone who isn't Emily or my co-workers. Gerald told me about a place called the Crimson Cat. I'll try it, and if I don't enjoy myself, I'll just come home. Now for this year's entry. July 8th, 1844. Today is our 1-year anniversary. We're going to meet at the Cat again. I love him, but I wish he wasn't so attached to that place. Emily is so nosy, I worry that she might follow me and discover the truth about Jimbo. If we moved around, I wouldn't worry, but with him, it's always the Crimson Cat. I really shouldn't complain, though. What we have is something truly special.
Well, it seems that our best hope of finding this Jimbo character is to visit the Crimson Cat.
There we go. So yeah, it is a lover.
Let's see. October 21st, 1843. The air is growing cold and is reminding me that I need to purchase a new pair of boots for the winter. I don't think this entry will be of much interest.
No.
October 21st.
Oh, it's the same one. Alright. Leave the journal. Okay. I think we learned what we needed to here. What else we got?
Ronan wasn't too concerned with comfort, apparently. This is hardly bigger than a bunk at sea.
Right. Can't interact with this chest at the end.
Ronan's book collection mostly consists of cheap pulp adventure novels, but this top shelf looks interesting.
Does it? Okay. Secret Customs of the Orient. You must be aware, dear reader, that the customs of... hang on, actually. Let's come back to this. I think this part's long enough. We'll come back, we'll read this, and then we'll go to the cat. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this part. Hopefully speak to you soon. Have a good day. Bye.